Today, we're making fish and grits. Let's get started. First, we're going to start by adding our all-purpose breader to our fish, and I'm using Pollock, and the breader that I'm using is our Everglades. So we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes while the oil is heating up on the stove. I have my stove right now at about a medium. Add your fish to your oil, and you don't want to crowd your pan because overcrowding your pan decreases the heat or the temperature of the oil, which makes for soggy fried food. So while we're starting our fish over here with either corn oil or a vegetable oil, I put a little bit of olive oil in a separate pan here. You can actually set this pan to a medium level on your stove dial there and start to heat up this olive oil to make our sauce for our grits. So then we start by browning our andouille sausage, and then we'll add okra next to this pan here. So the tip here on how you know when to turn your fish, if you look at the edges, you see that they start to brown a little bit. That's how we know we need to flip our fish over so we can start cooking the other side. So we've added our okra, and the part that everybody doesn't like about okra is the fact that it's so slimy. But what happens is the longer you let it cook, the less slimy it is, so cook it all the way through. So you want to be as delicate as possible when you're turning your fish over. As you can see, I broke a small piece of it over here, but it happens. You break things and you learn how to fix it and move on. So we've added about a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper. The andouille sausage is going to have its own heat and savoriness, so you want to be careful with your salt, so I've added 1 teaspoon of each. So our fish is done, and we're going to let it cool off on a napkin so it can kind of dry off and let all the oil get out of there and into the napkin. The next step is to go back to our sauce. We added about 2 tablespoons of flour and a little bit of tomato, and we're going to add some milk. We're going to call it 1/4 cup of regular whole milk. We're going to stir that in until it thickens up. Now to the sauce, what we've added is 1 cup of water, and we've also added about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons based on your tolerance of Louisiana hot sauce. So I was going to use the recipe on the box for the grits, but I'm going to use, instead of 2 cups of water, half water, half milk. So 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk. So we're going to add 1½ cup of grits to your 2 cups of water. So that's a 1½ to 2 ratio. Now normally I'd want to add salt and pepper to this mixture before I even add the grits, but since I'm going to be using cheese, I'm going to hold that until later. Then we add our grits, we turn the heat down to a low, and you're going to keep whisking, and we're going to cook for about 5 minutes. I've added 2 ounces of cream cheese. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and another 2 ounces of mixed Italian cheese. Now I've tasted everything since I've added my cheeses, and I went ahead and also added 2 teaspoons of salt. So there we have it, our fish and grits. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. So I was supposed to just taste it, but half the plate disappeared. It happened. My favorite part about this dish is, I would have to say, the hot sauce in the sauce for the grits and how it pairs so well with the fish.